Thank you very much, Chairman Langford, for convening this hearing today. This is the first hearing for the FSGG subcommittee this year. Your first as chairman, and I very much look forward to working with you and your staff. I think we can together find very constructive ways that we can work in this year's appropriations process and moving forward to make sure that we are protecting consumers, spending funds appropriately, and advancing federal missions. I'd like to welcome our witnesses, Chairman Pai and Chairman Simons. As Chairman Langford just referenced, I want to especially thank you, Chairman Simons, for appearing today since you've been on the job so briefly. We have two new chairmen, and hopefully we'll find a constructive path together forward. Both the FCC and FTC have key consumer protection missions, and I want to focus briefly on a few of those. Yesterday, the Senate voted to restore the FCC's previous net neutrality rule. I voted with the majority. That rule has been challenged in the courts and has been the subject of a great deal of controversy. I think it is important to have a free and open internet, but one that also values innovation and investment and protects consumers. There's four key principles necessary to maintain that fair and open internet: no blocking or throttling, no paid prioritization, and full transparency. And if we can find a way together to chart a path that accomplishes those goals, I think we will find a way to keep the things that all Americans value about the internet: access to sites that we choose, and giving equal access while still promoting innovation and investment. And I look forward to discussion with you, Chairman Pai, about these key issues around net neutrality today. We've also seen from the recent Facebook and Cambridge Analytica a controversy that companies can use big data analytics to infer very sensitive and complex information about individuals and then target them with ads that can be successful and manipulative. I don't know that any of us yet know enough about the full potential of the intersection of artificial intelligence and big data to give informed consent for the use of our data by consumers. But Chairman Simons, I want to talk with you today about how the FTC might be involved in addressing this issue and how internet privacy and consumer protection in that context may be a piece of your challenge going forward. Whether data-based targeting of this type can ever be so manipulative that it is unfair for Section 5 purposes is one of the things I hope we'll have a conversation about today. Last, about access for consumers, from business to academics to government. Access to the internet is no longer optional for success in the 21st century. Not only is it important that every student in America have access to state-of-the-art tools to power their education, but every home or small business, no matter how rural, should be connected to the vital communications and information systems that drive our economy and our way of life. The FCC oversees the $10 billion Universal Service Fund, which helps expand access to vital communication systems across the country. Some might think of Oklahoma as significantly more rural than Delaware, but there are areas of both of our states where access to broadband is a pressing concern. The FCC has worked over the past few years to modernize the fund to include broadband access in addition to voice service while reducing waste. And I hope that closing the digital divide will continue to be one of the SEC's top priorities under your leadership. And I hope to work together with the chairman to make sure that in rural portions of my state, in Kent and Sussex counties, as well as rural portions of his state and all of America, will have access to the broadband that we need to be successful in this century. I look forward to discussing these and other issues with our two chairmen today. Thank you for coming before us and for sharing your perspectives on the FCC and FTC funding requirements and program goals for FY 2019. And in closing, again, Mr. Chairman, thank you for the chance to work together as friends and colleagues.
Yeah.